All right, hey guys, welcome to another episode of. Well, we don't have a title for this. Welcome to us talk about War of the Realms. So there's a lot going on. We've been kind of so now issue 3 and 4 are out, and there's a lot of tie-ins all over. And you know what? Honestly, man, Marvel can really do a crossover event well, because all of these tie-ins so far have been so much fun. Because we've got Avengers and we've got the McElroy's new issues, which is the journey into mystery, right? And then we've got Giant Man, which is we've got Ant Man and Goliath, and the other two Giant Man. Oh, Giant Man.
Atlas,
It's like
Atlas, and
Atlas.
Giant Man. Yeah,
Yes, yes, and yeah, as Guardians of the Galaxy, and I mean, there's tons. There's so many tie-ins this event, and
there
it's
are.
been so great. And um, unrelated but related, the colors the colors through all of these are perfect. I don't know the direction they must have at the top as far as making sure that all of these kind of go together and the art
Yeah,
and the color. I'm really impressed. Sometimes the timeline can be a little confusing for these, but I know that there's stuff behind the scenes that can make it difficult for things to come out, at the right time that makes it make sense with the main
yeah.
story. And that's something that we were discussing before this. But yeah, so the War of the Realms continues to rage on in Midgard. A lot's changed in issue 3 and 4, and along with all of our tie-ins. How are you guys feeling right now with this?
Um, I'm enjoying the story so far. So what I like about issues 3 is pretty much the splitting up of all of our heroes. So all of our heroes that have ended up at Avengers Mountain after the destruction of New York, and they had to all escape, which left all of the Valkyrie dead in the streets and everything
Right.
like that. So we have these groups that have been split up. So Lady Freya has asked Captain America to take a strike team to the Jotunheim to go and rescue her son Thor, who is obviously, we know from the last couple issues, was taken there because of the whole Loki
Hmm.
situation. And so he's trapped in the Jotunheim fighting a bunch of frost giants. So Captain America, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Spidey,
Which,
and
man, seeing
they're
them all
all
come in on
ready.
these, like, you know,
Yeah.
Pegasus, Pegasus is,
But
I mean,
right away, a clear mistake.
oh, and it goes terribly. And bless
Yes,
their hearts, they're all cold.
I know.
Lord.
And Spider-Man's wearing a Viking hat for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, joking about what is he gonna do with a shield, which I
Yes,
love.
I
And then
love
looked at Captain America like, oh, ooh,
it. Oops, never
whoops.
mind. Shield.
But yeah,
um,
basically Freya's like Nick Fury, the Nick
she
Fury
actually,
of Asgard right now,
she is
right?
so awesome in this. She's a really awesome character. And then so we have that strike team, and then we have, of course, we have Daredevil. So he has been asked by oh gosh, I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. I drew a blank because this thing just showed up. Come on,
Heimdall?
Heimdall has asked him
I'm
to
here
take
too.
over.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
Okay, has asked him to take over, and I'm opening it right now. There you go. Take it. Go away. Thank you. Okay, has asked them to have help open the Rainbow Bridge because I guess two blind guys can do it, right? And so this imbues Daredevil with all these, obviously the powers of Heimdall, if you will, and the future. He can see everything that's going on around him because he has the sword. He opens the Rainbow Bridge to let everyone through, and then we have another strike team, which is another issue called Strike Force. You have She-Hulk, Blade, Punisher,
Punisher.
Ghost Rider, and they're going to the Svartalheim to basically destroy the Black Bifrost, which is how all of Malekith's troops are getting everywhere. Because remember, the Rainbow Bridge has been destroyed,
Hmm.
and they're like, "How is Malekith getting in there? He must have a Black Bifrost." And so that's where it originates from. So they have to go and destroy it.
And that's
Blow
a
it up.
great team because she goes and approaches Punisher and it's like I want to put together a team, and I need a group of people that are driven by anger because I'm
Mm-hmm.
going into where the dark elves come from and where Malekith comes from, and I need to make sure that I have the angriest of people. And then they put together this very interesting group that I really like because you've got She-Hulk. I'm always happy to see my girl. You've got Punisher, Ghost Rider, and Blade, and I've never seen Blade in a comic,
Neither have
so
I.
that's pretty cool for me. And I'm glad to see him, be a part of this crew. And it's interesting. Like it's just honestly, I hope that this is a crew that maybe will continue on past this.
I would like to see it. I love how they have to enter the Svartalheim, and they go in disguise with, like, I think Blade and Punisher are dressed as, like, dark elves in the masks and stuff. They're pretending Hulk is a troll or a dwarf, and that Ghost Rider is one of those little wispy fire demons.
Everyone should give up the disguises in this entire.
Yeah.
Like, everyone needs to stop. Disguises aren't working for anybody in any of these. And it's just silly at this point. Freya should know better.
She should know better. And then you have, of course, Malekith is still in Midgard. He's in London. I believe it's Excalibur is what he has picked up after destroying London and all the a lot of the heroes there. He is attacked by the War Avengers, which is a unique group of people. Captain Marvel, Venom, Lady
Wait, are we
Sif.
still talking about issue 3? Or have you jumped ahead to issue 4?
No, that's issue 3.
I think it's just an amalgamation of a lot. We're just
a lot happened,
but we're still on issue 3.
Can we talk about? Okay, I'm gonna jump in here because I haven't said anything. I'm just gonna add the fact that I love seeing my boy the Black Knight, even though he's about to get gutted. That's the only time I see him. I was worried that was Firestar, but no, it's Spitfire. Those are the invaders. So it's Union Jack, Black Knight, and Spitfire off screen. And,
okay, so Captain Britain
and it's even off screen in their main book, the War Avengers book, because they're like, "Oh, you won't take England that easy, Malekith," and then it's like, cut, next page. What happened? Where? What? Damn it, Black Knight! So he gets the ebony sword taken from him. That's what Malekith's heart is holding. That's a Black Knight's power. That's his sword. So yeah, that's where the rest of the War Avengers come in, and I kind of like this ensemble. They're still trying to push Hulk. What the heck is his name? Hulkerine, Hulkverine, the character, the amalgam of Wolverine and then Hulk. Lady Sif, Winter Soldier, Venom, and Deadpool, because they still put him in teams, and then Captain Britain, who I love. So it's always good to see him and Carol's leading that team. Something really cool happens here. Again, we're talking about spoilers because we're recapping the issue. This is where Malekith takes the ebony sword and he realizes that Venom is not from this world and there's another god. And this kind of goes into the Donny Cates stuff, right? The mythos that he's building around that comic book. So he stabs Venom, and I can show you. I don't know how much I'm reading this digitally. Maybe I should go and pick up the single issues instead. So he stabs Venom, and Venom kind of bonds with that sword, with the ebony sword. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And that comes back as well, so I'm interested to see like possibly what this could play in the larger story.
Exactly.
Omar jumps in.
Could do a lot with that.
Okay, I said my piece. Now that Amanda's back, I'm gonna go back to my hole here in the corner and
my dog
jumping around.
I have no idea. Sorry.
There's a lot going on. So
yes. So, and then of course you have little snippets of what's going on Midgard. You have all these different heroes who are fighting. Of course, they show Iron Man, Shuri, and Screwbeard, one of the dwarves, building weapons. And that comes later on in issue 4. We find out something that they're building, very important. And on Earth, you have Black Panther up in the North Pole defending. You have Namor in Atlantis, Ra's Solomon in the South Pole. The Dora Milaje in Wakanda, the Fantastic Four, which if anyone follows me on Instagram knows that I put in, like, doesn't that guy look like John Krasinski? Is Russ Dodderman helping me out here? Thanks, Russ. I appreciate it. And all that leads to, the last thing we have in this issue is we're back at Cap in the Jotunheim. They have managed to defeat some frost giants, looking for Thor, and of course, we find Thor, and he's basically in berserker mode, and he's like, "Send me all the giants!" And he's like, "Yeah." It's a great final shot of him just missing an arm. His hammer looks like it's just been torn to bits, and he just looks enraged, and it is awesome.
Yeah, and before I guess we jump into issue 4 and kind of talk about that, there's also a lot of honorable mentions as far as other side stories going on at the same time.
Can I show the picture of Thor and what he looks like?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Because this picture is quite amazing, where Thor has one arm, because he's had a one arm for a long time, since the unworthy years. I just want to show that. There, I said my piece. You can call me Vanna White. Carry on, ladies.
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead, Maddie.
Um, we have the Agents of Atlas, which I think is a really cool group to see. I love seeing a lot more of these like Asian groups in comics. One day we'll have a show about how like I'm certain it's due to the larger Chinese fan base and comic book fan base.
Oh, I agree.
Absolutely. And as somebody who works with China a lot, it's something I think about when I see that. But anyways, what a cool group. And it's just the beginning of it. So I'm excited to see where they go with this group because right now, basically, you see Miss Marvel who doesn't stay with them for long.
No.
Hulking, Amadeus.
Waves, a new character.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, who else is in there? There's a bunch.
I
of
got it. I got it.
Agent Wu, of course. Let's not forget Agent Wu.
Got Shang-Chi, Agent Wu. We have 3 new characters,
which is important because Shang-Chi has a movie coming out. So yeah.
Well, you mentioned Wave and her being of Asian descent and having the ability to control water and stuff. Kind of see that being pushed into the Namor movie if they do one. Then we have Silk.
Yep, that's right. Silk's in it too. Good to see Cindy Moon.
Amadeus Cho, which is what is it? Braun. He's going by Braun now, not Hulk, not Totally Awesome Hulk.
No, okay.
So this was my favorite miniseries so far. Well, this is first issue's out. I've always been you all know that if you watch the show, Agents of Atlas is one of my most wanted omnibuses of all time, and none of these guys except for Agent Wu, has been on that book. So these are all new characters to the book, to the team. Because some of these people are like Braun are champions. Even Miss Marvel mentions that. She's like, I'm gonna go back and hang out with the champions. You stay here for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's the leader.
Yeah,
But Greg Pak is writing this though. He's the guy that created Amadeus Cho.
Good. I like Amadeus Cho a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
I like Greg Pak a lot. So I'm glad that he's still sticking around with Marvel and using some of his characters. I liked Amadeus Cho a lot more than when he was just Amadeus Cho, the 8th smartest man in the world, boy in the world. But whatever. I can take used to him because I wasn't a huge fan of the Totally Awesome Hulk line. But this was my favorite one. We also had the Punisher.
Yep.
Yeah, and honestly, I liked
during
that.
issue 1.
Okay.
So that tie-in was happening during issue 1.
Mm-hmm. We're catching up a lot because last episode when we started this War of the Realms review, we hadn't read a lot of the tie-ins, and so we're catching up with some of those now. Journey into Mystery by the McElroys.
Oh, great!
I'm a huge McElroys fan. It's a big deal for me to see them make this venture into Marvel Comics, and this isn't the end of their run as far as like as writers in Marvel, because Clint McElroy, who's Papa McElroy, is going to continue on and do so. He's going to do a Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel crossover. But anyways, it was great seeing their humor come to this. It's a very weird group of characters put together, but I like seeing that from time to time. So you got Miles Morales, you've got basically Freya tasks Balder with not only going and getting his baby sister, Thor's sister as well, Freya's daughter, and protecting her, but also with gathering a group of people. And it's great because when she's detailing this to him, you see all of these people like who they could be, who they go reach out to, but it's not any of those people. So you think you're gonna get
Doctor Strange.
You got Doctor Strange. You don't.
Ashen Druid. I was like, what?
Yes, I mean, so it's a really fun. So you got Kate Bishop, you've got Miles Morales, the Man of Spiders, which I always love hearing. And you've got
the Shade of Spiders, though.
the
Deathlock
Robot Girl,
2.0.
Deathlock 2.0,
and Omar, jump in here because you mentioned who you think maybe
she's
okay, it's not UK.
She's the character from Avengers Underworld and Avengers what is it called? Avengers after Avengers Academy. What the heck was that? Arena.
Oh, okay, Avengers Arena. Okay. So she's not the little girl from Drax Initiative.
No, but she did appear in Avengers Arena. That's what I thought it was. And then we have the return of this guy that maybe 2 people asked for. Ares, that's right.
Ares,
God of War is back.
God of War, and he's on the
Yeah.
rampage attacking them, trying to get Thor's
I'm
baby
pretty
sister.
sure this guy got killed in the last Asgardian crossover called The Siege. Just saying.
Oh, hey,
Um,
real quick before we say anything else, somebody made a joke that I think I really need to make sure I draw attention to
and what is
in the
that?
chat. That She-Hulk makes great speeches. Was that Cyclops is better than Wolverine? Who said it?
Yes, he did. I think it is.
Oh my god, can we talk about I'm jumping around again, but whenever because at one point Freya kicks because I think is it in this issue or is it one of the side issues where they're still defending the
That's
black
issue
guy?
4.
That's issue 4, so we haven't talked about it yet.
Well,
yeah.
she kicks him out, the rest of them out. Anyways, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
No,
It's
yeah.
fine.
So in the beginning, do you want to start with issue 4? Do you want to talk about issue 4?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about She-Hulk getting kicked out of the Black Bifrost.
So issue 4 is really important because basically what we have is the Dark Elves have gotten to the Rainbow Bridge, and we have Lady Jane and Heimdall and Daredevil pretty much defending the bridge, but it gets destroyed.
Daredevil is now known as Daredevil, God without fear.
God without fear. And basically now the only way these people can return to Avengers Mountain is if they have the Black Bifrost. So they have to leave it open. And what does Freya do? She enlists her heroes that are with her, like Punisher, Blade, Hulk, She-Hulk, to go to these different realms that have already been attacked and destroyed, because this issue opens up with Effelheim, which is where the Light Elves live, with Sir Ivory from League of Realms. And she sends the Punisher there to recruit them, and they think because he has a gun and a skull on his chest, they're like, you must be part of Malekith the Accursed's group, but you're not. He's like, so he recruits them.
I love that part. He was like, if I was, you'd be dead.
Dead already. I love it. And then you have Blade goes to Vanaheim to get those old gods. Roth, is it Ro Lightfoot or something is his name? And then She-Hulk this is where, Maddie, you can talk about your part that you want to talk about, because this is where you're cute.
It was so cute because at this point Freya and She-Hulk are left because basically She-Hulk's there just to beat the shit out of everybody while everybody's gone. She-Hulk's the last one there, and Fred's like, no, you've got to go through, and she's like, no, She-Hulk, stay, basically.
Yes.
But Freya controls the Bifrost at this point, has her way, sends She-Hulk back.
Yep.
So it then cuts to She-Hulk talking to the dwarves and saying them to smash. Like, all right, She-Hulk fight, dwarves smash, basically.
Yes, I love it.
And the dwarves like, oh my god, she just gives amazing speeches. Like, oh, I've just got some dust in my eye. It was very cute. So
it was adorable.
It's the little things.
It's those little moments. Yeah, I really appreciate that little bit of the humor and heart of this whole arc. I mean, that's what I think makes it. And so basically,
we get to our couple of the evening, Odin and Freya.
So basically, everyone's back in Midgard, and they're like, "Where's Freya?" And she's about to destroy the Bifrost.
Not just Freya by then; she is Dark Freya.
She is, man. That woman. She is a mastermind. She's amazing, and so
she really shines in this.
She really does get to shine in this. And Odin wakes up from, remember he was attacked in the first issue by the Dark Elves, and so we had presumed he was dead, but he was just badly beaten up. And so what we realized that Iron Man was working on that whole time was a Iron Man suit for Odin. And Odin's going to go save his woman, even though these two, if anyone's read Aaron's Thor runs, have had a lot of button heads.
Oh man,
they are just the weirdest married couple.
Wait, I gotta show the Iron Man.
Yes.
Odin Borson.
Iron Allfather.
The Iron Allfather. So ridiculous, but I was like, okay,
I don't care.
It works.
It works, and it's great because these two get to team up and have an epic battle. And I love her line. She's like, "This is the first time in years that you've turned me on."
We've got to talk about the whole setup, girl. Okay,
let's talk about it.
Odin's like, "Listen, I'm gonna kiss you in hell." Like, I'm gonna kiss you so hard, and then she's just like, wow, we've been married for a long time. This is the first time it's ever happened. He's like, what do you mean, woman? That you've turned me on? And she's like, now let's fight. And
let's fight.
It's good. I'm sure if Thor was there, he'd be very uncomfortable. Which is
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Good.
I did like that delivery. where he was like, what in Boar's name have I done, woman?" And that's when she delivers the line of like,
Mhm.
"You waited now to turn me on."
Yes, it's so great because of
So
course
good.
Malekith is there by now. He had that the ebony sword with it's imbued with the
Venom.
symbiote,
Mhm.
and so they're getting ready, and it's
Helen Peggy Bundy.
they are Alan Peggy Bundy. Cyclops is better than Wolverine. That's a very good analogy.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. And so they do manage to blow up the Bifrost, although um Aaron does like to put in the little note that they will not get that kiss at the end, which is kind of sad.
Not
So
here, but maybe in
maybe in
hell.
hell, but not here right before they die. And so now we're back at the Avengers Mountain, and they know that it's time, they're ready to fight, but of course, you have Thor coming ready to go, and he's like, "No, this is my fight, and I'm
Oh,
gonna do
oh,
it with his big old metal arm, and he's got his
the
armor and
arm of the.
everything."
He's got the destroyer's arm.
The destroyer's arm,
Mhm.
yes. And he is, even though Jane gives a really lovely speech about, being the all mother and protecting everything, it doesn't matter. Thor's like, it's me, I've got to do it, and all my hammers are going to follow, and let's do this. And that's how issue 4 ends.
Leave it to a man to try to one up her.
Always. No, just kidding.
She was trying to take charge like Princess Leia, but I did like that. I hate the fact that we've been spoiled that she's going to become uh
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. I
Yeah.
really hate that. I mean, I get
Yeah.
it, so fans aren't pissed off. How dare they kill off Brumhilde, which they hardly ever
Well,
talk about in here,
Agreed.
I
except
mean,
maybe like in a line or two. And,
yeah.
they're like, okay, we got to shut the fans down. Let's go ahead and announce the next Valkyrie. And fans are
Exactly.
like, okay, that's okay. It's a good thing you killed Broomhilda.
I
It's
don't
okay.
mind too much only because the way this started, it really felt like, and it's only because I just so recently read Jane Foster Thor. The way
Yes.
that she talked about her feeling during this made me just it gave me hope that she would be Thor again. A Thor, not we can always have more than one. We do. Um, so when they announced that she'd be Valkyrie, I was like, okay, this is a compromise I can make. I'm okay with this. So now I'm eagerly awaiting whenever it's
Yes.
going to happen because I want her to have that again. She's
I
such an
know.
interesting hero, and I really love Jane Foster.
God, I did too.
Like, and when I first read that first like volume of hers, it didn't hit me until I'd read the Thor that preceded it and more
Yeah.
about her. And then when I went to her run, it just I need her back. And
Yeah.
already I was like, okay, cosplay plan, let's go. I'm
You're
Jane
like ready.
Foster Valkyrie, no problem. I'll be Jane Foster Valkyrie. You can be Jane Foster Thor. Will be
Oh,
good.
yes, that's what we should do. Seriously, we should
Yeah,
do
we
it
should.
because
Omar
we
can be unworthy
obviously
Thor.
yeah, he could be okay. Unworthy Thor with this guy.
I love that you all plan so many things on this live stream. Boticon, we are talking some spoilers, so you
We
may want
are
to bounce
which
off right now,
brings
just in
I mean,
case.
if you just jumped in, we pretty much ended talking about spoilers for the 2
Issue 4.
issues,
Yeah.
issue 4, so you might be free and clear, but I don't know if you will or not. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
and
I'm
then
excited about the next issue. It looks
yeah,
promising. It's been really fun. The only downside I can say to this is that there are way,
too
way
many
too many characters and so
yes.
much going on. And unfortunately, not a lot of people get the spot. Like you'll get a cameo here by the X-Men, and then it's like, go
Yeah,
read this X-Men miniseries. And while that's cool, I kind of wish that it was also more self-contained. Like
I agree.
you're
If it
not having to read other miniseries because not everybody has $3 or $4 to go buy
The
five
whole
issues.
thing.
It's gonna. I think it's. I do appreciate the fact that a lot of this stuff seems like editors are talking to each other and it's interconnected. I can only think of a couple of books that don't really fit into the tone of this. That,
yeah,
but that's with any crossover, right? But for the most
Yeah.
part, unlike things like Civil War
yeah,
or other crossover events that I've seen in the past at Marvel, it seems like some of these are really important. Uh, so
I think
saying
there's
that,
pros and cons. You
yeah.
know, the cons is that there's so many series involved.
Yes, a
There's
lot
a
of
lot
them.
to keep up with if you want to. But the pro is that I see a lot of consistency throughout. And I think
Yeah,
it's positive. I don't think it's I don't and maybe, current Marvel readers correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't keep up with it currently as much as I do
Yeah.
DC. Um, I feel like no other series is destroyed be, for the sake of the event, which is more than I can say for the other series going on in DC, which I will complain about in exactly 2 weeks at this time.
I
Stay
can't wait.
tuned. Um, so honestly, like I feel pretty good
Yeah,
about this.
I do
Um,
too.
and I think eventually, I think eventually if this is collected all together later with the
Oh yeah.
tie-ins, it could be great.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think this is, and it could be a really beautiful omnibus, like a really beautiful color with lots of like purples and
Yes.
that's what I
Actually,
want.
lots of purples.
Yeah, there's a lot of purple in this.
Yeah, Russ
Because of
Dauterman does
the
use a lot,
Yeah.
or not. I mean, Matt Wilson uses a lot of that purple shading,
Yeah.
in his art. If you go back and look, there's a bluish
I was
purple
looking at
undertone.
X-Men right now.
Oh.
Oh,
Just how
well,
much one of the lines pissed me off. So there were a couple of things I remember within War of the Realms that I th- I like his Spider-Man. It's goofy. There was a certain line that cracked me up when Wolverine's like, "Why are you so stupid? How did I die and you being so stupid?" Something like that is what Wolverine
Mm.
says to Spidey. Um, I keep forgetting that ever since One More Day, Spider-Man is again really young and not to be taken seriously. Uh,
he kind of is in that Spider-Man and League of Realms issue 1 that.
oh, I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, and that takes place after issue 4, and it's basically Thor has asked him to lead up the League of Realms team, Screwbeard and Ro Lightfoot, the Vanaheim god, and Sir Ivory, and he's trying to remember all their names and the big giant lady, and they have to go, and they are trying to talk to. So basically, the angels have, because Malekith, they're now on Earth, that he has given them a stronghold where they can, live. I think it's in New Mexico or something like that. And so he's taking them to go talk to Ferdinand, which is one of the angels, like the warrior. And she's kind of been doubting everything that Malekith is promising them. So I have a feeling that's going to set up our next 2 issues as far as now that Malekith is on Earth and we have everyone getting ready to fight him. What about the people who have been following him? Do they think that he's keeping his promises, and are they going to turn their backs on him? That's kind
No,
of
okay, that's what that's
issue.
about.
Yeah.
There was a I read the Uncanny X-Men because as soon as I saw Danny on the cover with her Asgardian outfit, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want. Why isn't this called New Mutants? So this is written by Matthew Rosenberg, who is currently writing X-Men, and recently he's done a lot of things that have made some fans mad and others like whatever, they don't care. Me, I hated the idea of it, and I know he apologized for what he did, and I don't want to spoil that because we're not talking about X-Men. But this was written after that issue, and one of these characters is alive in here, and one of the lines in here is like, if anybody gets killed by these 2 no names, which is Orphan Maker and Nanny, by the way, um, you don't get a statue built in your name. I'm like, the people that killed this other character were nobody. Are you trying to say they don't have a statue built in their name? I don't want to reveal who that is in case you have not read it.
Yes.
But anyway, it was a pretty fun issue. We're teased more about the New Mutants. It's more about Magic and Cyclops, which is cool. And then Hope
Yeah.
shows up, even with the undead Banshee. He shows up. Chambers there, but then we sort of get a New Mutants reunion towards the end where you see Danny show up, and she notices that there's all the Valkyries are dead. So those are all her sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I can't resist talking about X-Men. No, you are right, Matthew.
Yes. He's got to talk about it even if he's not really a fan of whatever he's talking about.
Matthew Rosenberg's on. It's hit and miss.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that's the War of the Realms so far. We have 2 issues left, issues 5 and 6, and that.
I thought it was 8. It's only
is it
6 issues?
I thought it was.
You tell me.
No, I think it's 6, but let me double check to make sure.
Regardless, it's going to be another 3 weeks until the next issue.
Exactly.
Oh, they're taking 3 weeks instead of 2.
Which honestly works great for us because I will be gone.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be in China.
Yeah, so we can catch up after.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this was a lot of fun. It's a fun event and it's done properly, and I think a lot of the miniseries have been so fun. Like, I don't know, like, I really want to recommend everybody. I think Agents of Atlas was really good. I really like both of the Strike Force books; those were really good.
Giant Man, I would recommend to anyone. Leah Williams is the writer on that.
So what was going on in Giant Man?
So,
Oh, it's so cute.
yeah,
It's so cute.
Freya has tasked Scott Lang, who is our Ant-Man right now. Basically, she has lost Loki. She wants him to get a crew and go kill Laufey,
Yeah,
King Laufey. What I can't say his name right now.
whatever. Yeah.
So they have to go kill some frost giants, and basically he has to recruit all of his big dudes because obviously if you got to blend in to be a frost giant, you got to be big, and so that's why he gets Goliath and Atlas and Giant Man and himself, and yeah, so they have to go in there and disguise themselves because their goal is to kill the king.
But they fail.
But they fail miserably, yeah, of course. So, but of course they can't do it in the first issue, right? That would maybe make no sense.
No, and it's cute to see them all work together. I think that's fun. Like it's just there's a lot of other things going on in the comic book world right now, in some of the other publishers, and it's just nice. It felt really good after some other stuff I've read today to just read a silly thing about a bunch of guys who have very similar abilities try to pretend to be ice giants, but they don't have magic to make them look that way. They have to paint themselves. So basically, they're an ice giant cosplay.
I love it.
I needed that today. Just some nice, fun comic book ridiculousness.
Yeah. And so. I think is it Frank Castillo is the artist, and Rachel Rosenberg, who we interviewed at C2E2, did the colors, and I think it all just really works really well. I enjoyed that issue.
Yes, and I'm with Maddie. I cannot wait for all this to be collected in one nice big fat.
It'll be so awesome.
Omnibus, but I'm sure it'll be years before that happens because we still need Jason Aaron Omnibus Volume 1, 2, 3, then this, and then the final one.
Man, I need a.
I think they know how much we want it
for Jason Aaron because I'm looking into the hardcovers because the third hardcover just came out.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Because the first two are out of print, and then it leaves out Unworthy Thor. Unworthy Thor was never collected in oversized hardcover.
We can't do it. We have to just be patient.
Just be patient.
It's the same way I'm waiting for like DC Dark Knight's Metal, which I'll probably never get. They've fucked up.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know about them, but at least there's a better chance of getting an Aaron omnibus by, like I said before, when I've done the omnibus stuff, like we may get some surprises by end of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Yes, Cyclops is better than Wolverine. I hate saying that name, but I love the fact that you agree with me. That is such a ridiculous death. And I can talk about that in another episode about stupid writing sometimes. And I get what he was trying to do, but no. Yes, me too, Philip. We all do. And that, you know why they did that, right? So we can buy the omnibus. That's why, my friend, because they know idiots like Omar needs his 4 extra issues in oversized hardcover. Damn it!
Yeah, because if they don't, then we're going down the custom bound route.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's gonna have to be.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
But
so that's it.
Was
that it?
Yeah, that's all of it. I'm really excited to see what the next 2 issues have, or the next. God, I still have to figure out if it's 6 or 8 issues. I was pretty sure. I think it's still 6 issues.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
I wasn't questioning you, boss. I was just.
No,
I really thought it was 8 issues.
They wanted the chat want to double check on that for me, so I don't tell everyone the wrong information. Is it 6 issues of War of the Realms or 8?
I just bought an Omni with less issues. Shut up, Matthew. I did. That's how weak I am.
Well, regardless, we'll announce before it's time.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be fun. Yeah, but it was a really good second 2 issues. I like the setup. So now we have everyone on Earth.
6 issues. Thank you, Rexanth.
Thank you. So I am right. Good. I like being right sometimes, most of the time. And so it has a really good setup because now we have all of our heroes, all of our ancillary folks, like the people from the different realms, all in Midgard because, of course, who was it that said, I don't remember who said it, but of course Malekith would pick Midgard as the last battleground because he knows that's the realm that the gods love the most and therefore he hates it the most. So everyone's primed and ready to go. We'll see. Thor thinks he can do it all himself, But we all know that at the end of the day, Thor is going to need some help. So, because that is usually how it goes.
Okay, so Rexant is saying 6. Cyclops is better than Wolverine is saying 8.
Well, we'll figure
So
it out.
we
We'll
are
figure it
left
out.
with a dangling plot point until the next time. I think we'll have
It's 6. It's 6.
So do you all want to come back and do the wrap up next? I guess it'll be next month, right? When it comes
Yes.
out, all 6 issues.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
we'll
say we
probably
do
get
that
together, what, end of June? Because
end
it's
of
gonna be
June.
another 3 weeks anyways.
Yeah, if it's 3 weeks and
So,
then 2 weeks after that, so it'll probably be about a month or so. So
yeah.
we
Yeah.
will do this again when the next 2 issues come out and talk about it and give it our final score. Matthew is saying there's 42 issues.
That is
Maybe
the
with all the
answer to
tie-ins.
everything.
Maybe with all the tie-ins there will be. Uh, so, ladies, who wants to
Yeah.
sign us off?
Sure. Thank you guys so much for watching this special live edition of Near Mint Condition, where we talked about War of the Realms. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure to ring the bell for notification of more great Near Mint Condition content. Remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at Near Mint Con. We also do have a Patreon, so if you want to support our channel, check out the link in our description. And as always, guys, remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint. Have a good evening. We'll see you
Night,
next
guys.
week.
Bye, everybody.